Hey guys, welcome back after a long time. So in this video, let's discuss something about Fatih Sultan Mehmed. So I got this from the Fort and Manle sample set, and I think I did a first impression video long back. I don't even remember what I said in that video, but like a weeks back, a couple of weeks back, I think I wore this, and then ah, wow, I was pleasantly surprised, like by how much I liked it. So so what we generally do, right? Like when you smell a fragrance and then you look at the note breakdown and it somehow influences your your impression of it, right? You also think, okay, whatever are the notes present, and you start thinking along those lines, and then you may or may not like it because of that reason, or like but like I like when I wore it like a couple of weeks back, right? I didn't have anything on my mind. I just wanted to, okay, let's try Fort O'Malley because I love this house. Like it's exactly my kind of what do you call that, fragrances that they create. I have many favorites from their line. I have Amber Absolutely. I unfortunately I only have Amber Absolutely, but I'm planning to buy this Fatih Sultan Mehmed, and I've sampled this one of Bojnikov's Purple Hat, and I like that fragrance. But more about that later. Let's talk about this fragrance. So first things first, like when I wore this, at least on my skin, this I could only think of two different notes: incense and vetiver, right? Like I usually go for a walk in the evenings, and then one particular day I was wearing this, and it is summer here in Sydney, and for some reason I wanted to wear it, so I wore it and went for a walk, and then all the time I kept thinking about it. Oh, wow, this is a beautiful smell. This is such a beautiful smell. But all I could think of was like vetiver and incense, vetiver and incense. Nothing. I couldn't think of anything else. Like, but then when I came back, I checked the note breakdown whether any incense or vetiver is mentioned. To my surprise, none of these two notes are there. Were there when I checked. So let's look at the notes. I'm talking about this Fragrantica. Let me go to the Fortin. Let me pull up the Fortin Manly site as well. Fatih Sultan Mehmed. And Fatih Sultan Mehmed is apparently one of the greatest emperors of the Ottoman Empire. Um, who also conquered Constantinople, which is present day Istanbul. That aside, I'm looking at I have both the Fragrantica page and the Photo Manly page. Let me see the notes in on the Fatih Sultan Mehmed page. The notes mentioned are bergamot, petitgrain, rose, tulip, iris, vanilla, ambergris, musk, patchouli, cedarwood, oud, and benzoin. Okay, and on Fragrantica, it's the same thing is divided into top notes, middle notes, and base notes. On the top, you have apple, petitgrain, and bergamot. In the middle notes, you have ambergris, damask rose, tulip, vanilla, and iris. And in the base, you have benzoin, amber, patchouli, musk, agarwood, and Virginia cedar. So, so when I saw these notes, I couldn't help but start laughing because I only got, like, even if I like if I smell it, right, the only thing that I can think of is incense and vetiver, and that's what I love about this fragrance. This is so beautifully blended, and that it's so meta in the way that they have composed this. They have created accords, right? They, I think they have created two different accords when in this fragrance. One is the vetiver accord, and the other one is the incense accord. So the vetiver accord could be like could be the combination of, bergamot, petitgrain, patchouli, and some of the notes, like whatever it is. Like the other ones, they give out this incense vibe. Or it could be damask, rose, tulip, vanilla, iris, ambergris, benzoin, and all that. So what to my nose, I can smell like these two beautiful accords, right? One is incense and another vetiver, and it's such a beautiful combination. They work so well together, this incense accord and the vetiver accord. And it's coming from India. India's vetiver is like is native to India. I'm a huge a fan of vetiver. I like vetiver in fragrances. It's nothing like in anything in the fragrance. What do you call that? The notes are concerned. Like two of the notes are like my favorite. Like patchouli and vetiver. I don't think any other notes have this kind of multifaceted nature of these two things, the vetiver and patchouli. Anyway, that aside, so this is what I love about this fragrance. So and I think in a way that the fragrances, right? This is how it kind of tells you the complexity of a fragrance when you cannot, at least to my nose, I'm still an amateur, at least I cannot distinguish, I cannot pick out any of these individual notes. They don't like stand up. They are so very well blended that it comes off as that it that the to the one who smells, to the wearer, it acts as accords, right? It's such a beautiful and masterful composition is what I'm trying to say. And it's so addictive, man. It's so addictive. Oh my god. But one thing I'm not very sure about, right? I forgot to check the longevity of this fragrance, because I don't want to spend money on this and then regret. One thing that I don't get is the oud thing, because even the other notes, I can imagine, okay, you can somehow blend all these notes and make it like create accords out of it. But oud is a very 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 um, individualistic kind of a note, right? It shows its presence obviously, but I don't smell any oud, or maybe it's blended very well in the incense accord. I'm not sure, but these are the two things that I get, that I just wanted to point out that. And if anyone is a fan of this house, if you guys have no idea about this house, you guys should check this house. This is like a Melbourne based house, and they are no their fragrances are very very dark and incensey. Like the one that I have, absolutely, is also like I would say is like a mixture of vetiver, rose, and incense. That's a beautiful fragrance. And this, oh my god. It's almost, I've used pretty much. Okay. Actually, they did classify this under Chypre floral fragrance. So, if you're worried about whether this fragrance is feminine smelling or anything like that, I would say not. I would say because as I actually as I actually mentioned, it's just there's this sharp green aspect to it, like which is what is reminding me of the vetiver note, and there's this other dark floral kind of incensey thing, which is pretty much like an incense. So it's a beautiful composition. I mean, Rasai Fort, man. I just hope, like, I just wish the new fragrances that they introduced, like, that they were, they had the, the, mm, the older Fort and Manly DNA, because the new ones I'm not a big fan of. The leather fragrance, that late harvest one, I didn't like it that much. And Honiara, not a big fan. It was like a fresh fragrance. Nothing. See, fresh fragrance. There's, you don't need creativity to create fresh fragrances. There's hardly few notes that you can combine and then create a fresh fragrance. Fresh fragrance is something that designer houses should focus on. That it's. I mean, there's so many fresh fragrances out there in the designer and niche category. Why would we need? There's hardly four or five notes that you can combine to create a fresh fragrance, right? Of course, I'm exaggerating. Maybe you can have 10 notes, and those notes are not even going to last that long, right? Why would you like? I understand, like, the Western world is generally um, obsessed with these kind of fresh fragrances, but come on, Rasai Food, you're a Turkish house, yeah? You're like we expect more of these dark fragrances, like the Turkish fragrances, the Ottoman. Bring out that kind of fragrances, man. Like this two, three new fragrances. All the Queen's men and all these three, right? Like, I was disappointed, bro. I'm not sure if Rasai Ford would ever watch this video, but still, I'm saying, like, we want like kick-ass fragrances, like Amber Absolutely, Fatih Sultan Mehmed. These are the, like, Borzhnikov, Harem Rose is another beautiful fragrance. Like, create more such fragrances, more dark and more exotic fragrances. That's what we want from Fort and Manley. That's what at least I want from Fort and Manley. I'm a huge fan of the house. I hope to one day visit the Melbourne boutique or whatever. I've never been to Melbourne. One day I'll go. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Bye bye.